hope you are all well. We'll just clear our energy. Feel that vibration. My little singing bowl. Hey Amelia, how you going? I hope life is treating you well. I've had a very busy couple of weeks, so I haven't been jumping on live, but I hope everything's going well for you. I thought I'd have a bit of a touch base and chat tonight. Let people know that I'm still around. Yeah, but everything's going well. A lot of activities in the world at the moment. A lot of crazy things going on out there. So good to stay centered and balanced with yourself, I think. You know, inwardly happy with who you are, and everything else take care of itself. So I hope it's all going well for you. I'll just wait for a little bit till there's maybe a few more people hop on. I'll be talking about this stone tonight. Bit of malachite. As well as many other things. But this one's quite prevalent. This little natural stone cut into a pyramid. It's called malachite. I'll be talking about the properties of malachite and how it can help us. As anything that we use to help ourselves welcome a new subscriber. Well, there you go. Welcome aboard. All right, so there's a few people that have jumped on. I'm Craig. This is my little YouTube channel called Craigsworldrocks, and it's really me speaking about how I see life. So if you're someone that wants to listen to someone, hey silly cat, how you going? If there's someone, or if there's a different perspective you want to try and understand about life, a lot of people are very interested in the hey Michael, how you going? A lot of people are interested in understanding how someone who thinks metaphysically about thank you for subscribing, Michael. It is a pleasure for new people to join my little family. All right, so again, I'll just say for everyone I'm a metaphysical thinking person. In a real tight nutshell, what's a metaphysical thinking person? That is someone that believes that what I do in life and how I act actually has a massive impact on what goes on in my life. So it's a strong belief that what we put out is what comes back, that each individual creates the things that, or has a massive say in creating the things that go on in our lives. It's a self-empowering understanding, but it's an understanding that many of us have proven these things to themselves. I, for one, have spent my life since my early 20s believing this understanding about myself as a human being, that, you know, how we act is what creates what is going on around us in our own reality. So being the most positive, upbeat individual about yourself and your own world is the most important thing that I believe we can do for ourselves. So basically, when I look at life and issues and so on, I look at them from the perspective that in some way I have created this. And for some people, that's very hard to grasp certain things in their life, that why would I create such a bad thing, or why would I create such a crazy situation? It's actually been able to understand that the picture is bigger than one instance, right? So when you go through something that might seem negative at the time, when you step back from your world and you look at your life in a broader, bigger perspective, that one lesson that you learned or went through that seemed negative at the time might in fact be the catalyst that takes you to something fantastic in your life. Life is about lessons. Life is about experience. Life is about learning, right? Becoming more of who you are, understanding ourselves in a better way so that we can be even more comfortable in our own skin and understand ourselves in a broader, more bigger perspective. I mean, that's how I see life. So life's very much about the lessons that we go through, and some can seem quite negative and some can seem quite positive. But you can have a say in what goes on from a metaphysical thinking point of view. What you put out is what comes back. All right. So, a couple of things has been going on the last week or so, and I will dive into certain things around ideas about helping us to create more positive scenarios in our own lives with certain attitudes and certain concepts. But I just had this feeling of talking about, I'm also into my crystals, right? I love my natural stones. This one right here is a little cut pyramid of a stone called malachite. Malachite, beautiful deep green stone, lots of tones, different depths of green, even sometimes getting close to black. It's a beautiful looking crystal. Can vary quite significantly from stone to stone. If you're ever in a crystal shop or a place where they sell, crystal balls and pendants and stuff like that, the malachites, one of the main areas of life that they say malachite works with is dealing with our fears. So things that hold us back, see, because if you have a belief that's fearful, if you're scared to be more of something in a particular area of your life, that's your belief that actually is holding you back. And malachite helps us as individuals. It's a tool. I see natural stones as tools that, can help ourselves deal with certain situations. Malachite is a stone that helps people face their fears in a nutshell. All right, beautiful stone. At the moment, there's a lot of things happening around the world that you could say would make people feel quite fearful about their existence and about their lives and about, I can't control these things. They feel very much out of control. Granite it's a very grounding stone, all right? But, with every natural stone, the way I was taught about stones and how I've worked with them, you wear them when you feel like wearing them. You have them around you when you feel like having them around you. If a stone doesn't feel comfortable to you, take it off or put it away for a bit. A good stone for sleep is any stone that works with feminine energy, so the gentler stones. So if it's, say you've got things on the mind, because a lot of time when people have trouble with sleep is they can't actually deal with an issue. So the issue is running around their minds. You've got too much going on. So you've got to calm the mind. So there's a stone called blue lace agate that works with emotional stability. Smoky quartz works with your emotions as well. It works with calming your emotions. So smoky quartz, blue lace agate, rose quartz is really good for feeling comfortable within yourself. It's your heart chakra. It's about how you feel about you. If thoughts are overwhelming us, like we haven't actually dealt with things and we keep thinking about the situation, that's why in a lot of cases people have trouble dropping off to sleep. We need to calm the mind, right? You don't necessarily have to have it under the pillow. Just has to be on the bedside table. Just has to be, on the nightstand. The vibration of a natural stone connects with the same vibration within the human being because we're made up of many, many levels of vibration. A stone holds a singular vibration. So when I say an intuition, when your intuition is drawn to a color, when you're attracted to a certain stone, it's your intuition saying, hey, we've got a bit of a blockage in this area. We need to clear it. We need to deal with whatever the issue is. A lot of the time when people start working with a particular crystal by wearing it, that they'll find that thoughts will come up about maybe old things that actually are, things that you haven't thought about for a while, but suddenly that feeling connects with the feeling you've been having, let's say, before you've been going to sleep. You get that connection where you realise that, oh, this is an old thing that's coming back up, and so we have to look at it again. We have to decide whether we want to keep hanging on to it or we're ready to deal with it, right? You know, when we deal with an issue is when we're not hanging on to it anymore. So accepting that something has happened, and that's why the hard things in life, that's why the situations where there's a bit of shock to them, you know, there's a bit of hurt, there's a bit of pain, there's a bit of, you know, upsetness, there's a bit of, you know, throwing our life out of kilter. It's hard to accept those things, and often because they happen so suddenly, we bottle those things, right? And we go, I can't deal with it now. And especially when we're younger, you know, kids will block those things. Thanks, Blogsy. If I can see you, Blogsy, you are too, mate. Don't worry about it. But when we're kids, we often just bottle those things away. Leather shoes, I found my connection to natural stones probably in my early 20s, when I met a mentor of mine, probably 2021, that owned an actual natural stone crystal shop or a spiritual crystal shop. And I learned a lot of the things about it. He actually opened me up to that stones weren't just a cool looking item to wear, that they actually had a benefit for human beings if you opened up to that, if you paid attention to how you act differently while you're wearing a stone, or things that pop up that actually aren't normally in your mind. When you put a stone on, maybe suddenly you're thinking about something completely differently. And it's connecting those things together, which helps the individual to understand that there's an area in which a natural stone will work. Stones don't just work on one specific area either. There's many different things that are connected to the individual areas of vibration within the human being. It's a huge thing. It's a huge area. But, you know, people just have to be open to the concept that we're not just physical beings. In this world, we're physical, right? We're human. We've got skin, bones, body, all that stuff, right? We're living in a physical reality. The actual reality is that behind the physical is our energy body. Let's just put it in those terms. What some people call it your soul, you know, the true self, the vibrational side of yourself. It's understanding that, you know, there's more to the physical body than just physical. There's something behind the physical that actually, you know, controls it, that thinks for us. It's not the brain that's thinking, it's the energy body that's actually working with the physical brain in this reality. You know, consciousness for me exists, which means we exist forever. That doesn't go away. Energy doesn't disappear. You know, you can transform energy from one thing to another. You can have natural stones that hold vibrational levels of energy, but the human being and behind the human body are infinite levels of vibration. We are a complex being that we don't really understand ourselves to the level in which we kind of should, right? Like, at the end of the day, I think life is about reconnecting with who we actually are. There's more to us than just the physical experience. And I think the more people that start to open up to this, the more people that investigate themselves, right? Not necessarily listen to everything that other people say blindly, right? Because in the past, let's face it, a lot of religions have directed individuals to just listen and believe what we say without any real facts except for a book. Where I choose to actually look at, hey, I believe logically that I'm a part of everything. So I'm not lesser than, I'm everything. I'm all that is. That's what I call existence. All it is, the universe, the trees, the plants, the air, the sky, everything that exists from the same place that we exist. None of us are disappearing. None of us are gonna, you know, when we finish this lifetime, we're not just vanishing into insignificance. We will go on. We do go on, and we do transform into the next thing that we want to experience existing through. Okay, leather shoes. I'm just going to read what you said there. Hold up, everyone. Say, start collecting stones, live in a small unit. Would you have to have these stones in separate? Not necessarily. No, they don't cancel each other out. So I remember seeing a few people back in the day that would have a bit of wire and they'd have like 10 crystals on at one time. What that does is it actually opens up all those areas of vibration. That can be a bit confusing and a bit overwhelming. If you open up like 10 different areas of vibration that maybe you've got blockages there for a really good reason, that you've closed that area off because of things that have happened. If you suddenly open them all up in one go, that can be kind of confronting. That can be like so many things coming into your mind. I choose to work on maybe one or two stones at a time. I'll work on one area. And then there's stones like amethyst that are very much general. Stones are like the amethyst stone is generally about lifting your overall vibration. So it absorbs low vibration in general. So it doesn't work on a specific thing, but it's very much looked at as a protection stone. Because if someone was to try and dump on a person wearing amethyst, the amethyst would absorb that rather than the person absorbing that, if you look at it like that. Amethyst is very much an uplifting vibration stone. It just helps to lift the general vibration of a person by stopping you and clearing a lot of the just general low vibrations that exist in our energy field. Specific stones will connect with specific areas, like rose quartz, for example. That works on the heart chakra center. It's about self-worth, self-love, self-confidence, working on you. If you're someone that really struggles with, believing in yourself, that there's things you might have gone through that, have made you feel that inadequately, not really believing in yourself the way you truly should, right? Like, we are not less than. We are not bad people. We are not sinners. We are perfect. Every single thing that exists is a part of existence, is the all it is. Every single thing is experiencing existence through the particular being that they've chosen to be. Right? So you choose to be who you want to be. I'm telling you, from a metaphysical point of view, you choose to be you. You chose it. You chose this lifetime. You sat around with, maybe you sat around with me. Maybe you sat around with many, many people in your realm on the other side, and you decided the things that you want to experience as a human being. You said, I want to go through having this happen to me, and I want to go through what this does, and I want to understand from a physical experience how this will be. And you worked a lot of these things out. But when you come into this reality, obviously you block yourself from knowing who you are fully, because how can you then basically experience things for the first time? How can you experience, wow, I've just done this for the first time? Because if you remember living thousands and thousands of lifetimes, it's not for the first time. You would have done these things over and over again. So we deliberately, I think, close ourselves off in this level of reality, in this world, so that we can experience the reawakening of who we are, because that's like pulling the lacquer band back, right? If you want to get yourself to a point in life that's amazing, a lot of the time you have to go through a bit of rubbish, bit of crap, right? You have to go through some shit so that there's some rebounce, right? So you pull that back and go through a lot of hard times, but then when you let go, you end up so much further forward the other direction. So yeah, no, all good, leather shoes. Anytime, mate. Always ask questions. Love it when everyone asks questions, because it shows me that you actually give a shit about your life. And, yes, I'm a bit rough around the edges, but, I'm very much a person that believes that we should all try and be the most authentic people we can in our lives, Fast Eddie, it's all about you. So, mate, you are awesome. All right. It's about how the individual perceives themselves. That is the key. See, in this world, there's so many organizations that say, yeah, you're not a good person, you're a sinner. You need to give yourself to this higher power, and then they will make everything all right for you. It's never sat with me. Inside myself, my intuition's always been, that's not right. That's actually opposite. That's how these organizations actually keep control of people, right? They want to have control of all these people. You're an awesome person, Fast Eddie. You are, mate. Saying that you hate yourself, that's you being honest. And I appreciate you for sharing that with everyone here on our small chat, right, in our family, because, you know, it's about being your authentic self. And if you don't be honest with yourself, how can you go from this point to a much better point, right? Where you go, you know what? I might have done things that I'm not happy with, but you know what? I'm doing the best I can, right? And that's all I'll say, Farsi. If you've done the best you can with what you've known to this point, pat yourself on the back, mate, because everyone is doing the best they can, right? I had to step last year. I wanted to step forward and do these lives, right? Because I learned a lot of things over the years that I've been living this life through a few really amazing mentors and people that I was very lucky to bring into my world, and I own that. I go, wow, you brought those great mentors into your world to basically, you know, enlighten myself. Sorry, I love the shoes. Is there a sound that could give me strength for sobriety and not give it to temptation? All right. So, yeah, but I appreciate everyone that is doing the best they can. But as far as that question goes, mate, so again, it's a decision that you have to make, right? There's a reason that a person gets an addiction. They're looking to cover up usually pain or some issue that they haven't been able to deal with. And so they cover it up through drinking, through smoking, through drugs, through sex addictions, through all types of things, right? People find something to dull the pain, when the reality is, again, it's how, thanks, Fast Eddie, mate, always welcome here. Join the family, well done. It's really about owning that, hey, I'm not going to cover up the issue. There's something that makes me feel like I need to have a drink. There's something there that I want to get away from. Well, I say to you that it's not about getting away from it. It's about facing up to it. I don't know, and I don't need you to express those things live, obviously. That would not be something that you need to do here, because for the purpose of you helping yourself with your sobriety, it is about diving into who you are, accepting the things that have happened to you. That's the point. When you accept something, and I know that there'll be things that are really hard to accept, things that people might have done to you, things that, you know, you didn't have any control of at the time. But if you can learn to accept those things, then you let them go, because you take the power away. While you hold on to it and you're angry about it and upset about it, you empower that time, that thought. Your energy keeps going back into that time to, you know, I can't get over that person did that to me. I was only 10, you know, and you don't let go of it. It's not, a lot of people hold on to it thinking that they're, you know, they don't want to let it go because that means that I've accepted that it's okay, that person was like that. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Every time when you hang on to negative stuff, the only person after the situation has passed that you're hurting then is you. You're only hurting you. You need to let that go. It's not happening to you anymore. When you focus on something and you keep focusing on it, good, bad, or ugly, you create more of it. And I'm not saying you're going to create the same negative situation to happen to you again, because in a lot of cases it's happened when you were younger and it's a very different scenario when you're older. But you create the emotion staying there and coming back. You're putting energy into that point and you're not moving forward, right? You're not allowing yourself to let new things in, more positive things in, because you're trapped, because all your energy's focused there, when all you have to do is say, yes, it happened. At the time, it was terrible, but it is now done with, and I have learnt from it, and I am now going to go forward and be a more connected, empowered person for the rest of my life. It gives me perspective on who I can be and who I don't want to be, right? But we don't want to be putting our energy into that anymore. We want to accept it. We want to leave it where it is. We want to know that it happened, but we want to bring our energy here and say, look down the barrel of the camera, look down into your mirror. You're a good person. You created a terrible situation for your own learning. And you might not even right now see the ultimate outcome of why you've done that. Because if you look at so many people's stories in life, some of the people that have gone on to achieve and teach people great experiences in life and have great experiences and have amazing, creations, et cetera. A lot of these individuals went through a lot of hard, struggling times first, because they were the things that springboarded them to a point of, I know I can go through hell, but hey, at the other end, I can have more amazing stuff than the standard person that just goes through life like that. So you have to find a passion for yourself, Eddie. You have to find something in your life that you, besides everything else, just love. There's something in you where I believe it about every single person. Life is about going after your passions. Life is about, hey, I love that. I want to do that. It's your life. No one else should have a say in what you want for yourself. You've got to connect with things that bring you a good feeling, that bring you that little tingle in your heart, right? I know it sounds crazy talking to a 56-year-old man here from Melbourne, Australia, but it is about connecting with you. What makes you tick, right? I love public speaking. I actually love it. I got no drama. I could stand in front of thousands of people. Now, will I ever stand in front of thousands of people? Well, maybe on YouTube, but I won't be seeing you face to face. But I enjoy it, right? When I get to express how I see particular topics and how I see life, and that's a passion of mine. I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't, right? I don't have to. Not making any money out of it. I feel that there'll be people that can get something from my way of looking at life, that there are people that will appreciate the things that I understand and will help them, make the decisions that they need to make for themselves in their life. There's a reason, and there's, when a person goes after the things that make them, well, that you're passionate about, something that you believe in about yourself, when you be your authentic self, you then attract people that want you to be expressing your authentic self. Not everyone will. A lot of people go, Craig, I'm not interested in listening to that old fella, right? But other people do, right? It's not about the ones that don't see it now or don't see it the way I see it. It's for the ones that are out there that do see it or do click with how I express it, because we're all unique. We're all here helping ourselves to step up, to expand, to know more, and, be there to pass on our gifts to the world, which we are one with, we are a part of. The whole universe, we're part of it. Everyone in the world, you're all brothers and sisters, you're all family to me. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care if you're extraterrestrials from another universe. I unconditionally love everyone the same way, because we're all family. We've all come from the same place. We're all going to go back to that place. We're all going to, talk about the wins that we had in these lifetime experiences and the ones where we go, damn, I wish I'd done that a different way. But hey, I went through it that way, so that's it, right? Revealing your authentic people. Okay, and my friend Fake Name, I would say that that's a fear. Okay, I'm just saying, from metaphysical point of view, like attracts like. So if you attract someone that is low vibration, there's something there that your belief there that is allowing yourself to let that vibration connect with you. I choose to, and I'm not saying I'm perfect by any stretch of the imagination, far from it, right? But I choose to be my true self. I choose to be brave in that space, right? I think if people connected with and were being more of who they are supposed to be, being the person that you want to be, doing the things that make you feel the best, right? If everyone was doing that, the world would transform for the better, I think, right? There's always people that you might feel you don't trust, but I think if you be your authentic self and you be positive, those people that are untrustworthy won't hang around you because they won't be drawn to you, right? So, yeah, it's I choose to believe that like attracts like, that when I talk and speak from the heart in an authentic space about how I see life, there will be individuals that will go, I love that, and there'll be other individuals that won't, and they move on. I mean, this forum of, a live YouTube channel that you can come and go as you please. You don't have to stay here and listen to Craig talk about how he sees life and how I deal with situations. But if you like that and you are getting something from the discussion with me, awesome, right? I'm genuinely happy to hear that my thoughts have helped a few individuals. One of the things that I say to everyone, take the things that you like out of things that you listen to and throw away the things that you don't. And Fast Eddie, appreciate you, mate. But yeah, don't even okay, so we'll use you as an example, Fast Eddie. If you say to me, you're listening to what I'm saying, I hope that you go, those three things Craig said there were great. The other one I'm like, it didn't sit with me. That's okay, let it go. Because you're all individual. Yeah, and in fact, that 100%, mate. If more people become braver and step in to do the things that you're passionate about, that you personally love, the world will change for the better. Just like the old John Lennon said, mate, give the power to the people. Let them be the people that they want to be. We don't want a whole lot of sheep out there, and unfortunately, there's been control over this planet for a very, very long time, where the masses have been herded into certain spaces through certain means, right? And we need to step out of that. As individuals, it starts with one individual, starts with, one of you guys going, I'm going to do what I love the idea of doing. I'm going to go and do it. Beliefs are only created by human beings. Beliefs and whatever we believe are only created by what sits with us, what we accept. The limitations that we put on us, the limitations that have been put on us by the people that have raised us. You can change your belief at any time for you. You can let go of something that's really negative. You can replace it with something really broad thinking. If you want to let more of something into your life that is positive for you, believe that you deserve more of it. And if there's a belief that says, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve that, when you try and change that and when you want to allow more in, often that negative belief will come up in your world through something happening to show yourself that you actually believe that you don't deserve it. And that's when you need to look at where that belief's come from. Was it Auntie Joe that said, you don't deserve anything, you ungrateful little bugger? And when you were 5, you absorbed it like a sponge and bang, you've believed it your whole life, right? So it's always been about us. I'm just reading your thing fast. Sorry, mate. I was a small man as compared to what I was in this. Like that quote. I like that quote a lot. It is. That's why I always go back to that authentic aspect of how you see yourself. Yeah. That's right. So when you're the most authentic in here, what you see around you, you perceive your world and you start to bring in very authentic situations for yourself. See, one of the other concepts of a metaphysical thinking person is that we believe, I say we, because all those people out there that do believe similar things to me, is that You are manifesting everything every second of your existence. You don't have to manifest anything because you do it now. That the world shifts every moment of every millisecond. And that can be a concept mind blown for many people. You don't have to sit there and will anything. Well, wisdom is mine. I see myself as a metaphysician. So I'm very much a person that believes I create my own reality. I'm not an atheist. I would say I'm very spiritual. I believe that we go on forever, that there is a spirit realm that we don't see clearly in the human reality that we live in now. But when we cross back over, you definitely will. You'll head back there, where I think that's more of where we would call home, and we decide what's our next experience going to be. And this is one of those experiences that we're in right now. But I see it as still very, very important, because we wouldn't have chosen to exist and do this if it wasn't important, right? So I don't know. It definitely doesn't fall into the atheist category. The agnostic, no, not either. So I'd say neither. All good, my friend, the Onion. Good to see you, mate. I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. It's been pretty crazy around my house. So I've done a few videos here and there. I had a little rant the other day about a few things in the car. So I posted a couple of things. But yeah, I thought I better get back on here and have a genuine live chat with you guys and make sure everyone's going all right. But I have not gone anywhere. I am just being the normal family man that I am, and living life and doing the human experience and so on and so forth. But well, may I change the subject? Obviously, I can, because this is my live. So, not decided that. Yeah, okay. I'm not one for labels, right? The reason I call myself the metaphysical thinking person, this is for Wisdom is Mine, is because it's the closest thing to understanding how I think. All right. So you look up a metaphysical person, you type that in and have a look at what it says about metaphysical thinking people or the philosophy of it. And that's pretty close to who I am. But labels don't necessarily sit with me. I'm someone that wants to be the most positive version of myself in my life. I want to be authentic. I want to live from the heart. I don't want to live from the head. I want to actually follow the feelings that I have about what I want to do next. Hey, I should be doing more of this. I want to do this. And I try as much as anyone else to actually, go down those paths, do them to the end, and then shift and, see what comes into my reality next. So very much going with the flow as much as an individual can, and trusting that I am in charge, and that the more I am thankful and grateful for who I am, the more that I attract all the abundance and things that I need to go forward in my life, because I'm actually creating it all from my higher self, from my, more connected self. All right. So I'm working on myself just like everyone else is out there at whatever level everyone's at. But really, there's no such thing as a level either. I actually think that it's more just you've chosen to have that experience. And if you start to awaken yourself to who you truly are, that's going to help you go even stronger in that direction that you're passionate about. Go after the things that you're passionate about. But I'm going to quickly, but I appreciate that wisdom is mine. So I saw Steven Spielberg's movie Disclosure Day. For those of you who have maybe seen the clips to that, maybe thinking about going, I'm not going to do the spoilers. It was awesome, right? So I'm also, for those who don't know, 100% know that the extraterrestrials are already here, right? And I do believe that in the next, let's say, 12 months, we're going to get a lot more of an understanding about, that fact. And I think Steven Spielberg, being probably the most well-known director in the world as far as our generations are concerned, knows a lot more about it than what he's saying. And I think he knows so much more. I mean, the old movie he did, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that that scene, I'll give spoilers on Close Encounters of the that scene where the alien craft lands in the military thing and the aliens come out and all the people are there and they see them and the kids come back and blah blah blah. That was supposedly, I say supposedly, from a true story of the alien craft landing in a military zone, and that supposedly happened. So I think Steven Spielberg is well versed into many things that the general public is not. But I am very down for disclosure. I think disclosure will be the main catalyst to the world changing the way it sees itself. I think a lot of the limitations and the issues that we have are because of the control and the programming from the governments of the world to keep the people in control, and religions and all of that stuff, right? We've all been sheep. We've all been herded into the places they wanted. And I've got this very strong feeling that our friends of the universe, our brothers and sisters of the universe, if you want to look at it like that, because I look at it like that, are going to come forward, step forward. There'll be certain beings that will step forward, and we will be read in to the reality of what life and the universe is actually more about. And I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen sooner than we realise. I mean, and for those that are listening that think, nah, that's probably a lot of bull, check out US Congress at the moment, the UAP task force, and dive down that rabbit hole, right? Dive down that rabbit hole of UFOs, because it's more real than anyone realizes. And I'll just finish on this. The Pentagon has done 3 drops now of classified videos on their website, on the war.com .com/UFO website, and you can check them out, because it's quite mind-blowing. There's things that are out there that we just don't understand. What made you see things this way? Was there ever a time where you neglected your true self? Absolutely, man. I only awoke to a different way of seeing life in this way at around 2021. Not the year 2021, my age. So about 35 years ago. I've said this before, but I'll give you a little background to myself. So when I was younger, growing up back in the day, I've lived in Melbourne, Australia my whole life. Normal upbringing, rough, ready, running around, playing sport, doing the things kids do. Parents broke up when I was younger, so I had to go through that as a family group. But you pretty much, I'd listen to a lot of people. There was always something inside me that said, I don't understand what life is. There was just this little thing inside me that was always like, I don't know. It doesn't. Life seems weird, right? So people in the religious connotation sense would say how they saw life, and you have to give yourself to Jesus or God, and profess yourself as a sinner, and He died for your sins, and give yourself, and then you'll be saved and you won't go to hell. And every time I heard that line, if you don't give yourself to God, then you'll go to hell, it made me feel very fearful. But there was a voice in my head that would say, don't listen to that. That's a lie. And I had that voice in my head from probably age 7 or 8. I don't really remember if it was there before that, but there was just something in me that was like, there's something else. And when I went through my teenagerhood up to, 20s and so on, I was off the rails. I was running amok, just not really caring about life too much. And I remember my mum, who's passed now, I remember her saying to me, I've got a friend of mine, you should go and see her. And she was known in circles as a witch. And my mum was, more likely more into religion than like the standard person, you could say that. But this friend of hers was where everyone thought she was a witch. She was, in fact, a clairvoyant that ran meditation classes, which I understood after I met her. But I didn't meet her, I knew her. But I had a really bad thing happen during a week when I was in my early 20s. And I woke up this particular day and I went, you know what? I'll go and see your witch. I said to my mum, I'll go and see her. Because I was going down a path that would only lead to me creating, and I didn't know this at the time, but creating very negative things, right? So I went and saw her and I was really nervous. And I said, look, everyone that I've ever spoken to thinks you got to, give yourself to this belief and do what you're told and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't agree with any of that crap. So if you want to tell me what you think, then we can get on my way. And she said, well, I just want you to sit there and listen, Craig, and nice and relaxed, and we'll have a nice chat. And I'll tell you how I see life. So I'd met this lady before, but never had this conversation with her. And anyway, I was basically folding my arms. I was really negative and blocking off from her. And basically, she said to me that she was someone that believed that she had a say in her life. That it wasn't about giving your power to a higher being. We're a part of that higher being. We're all the same. And that what we put out, what energies we put out, is what we create for ourselves. That's not being an ego thing. It's about understanding that you're a part of the all that is. You are God, Goddess, all that is. You are not a sinner. You are not less than. So if you're a part of this God, Goddess, or this life force energy that we all are, it stands to reason that what you put out is what comes back, because you're creating it. You're a part of it. It's you, even though you might not be fully aware of it, even though it's a bigger part of yourself that's closed off from the human part of you at the moment. The way that people connect with the bigger part of themselves is why people meditate. A lot of people go, meditation, that doesn't do nothing. Meditation is quietening the mind. It is slowing everything down. See, in this world, in this hamster wheel that we're on, we're running very, 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 very fast. And we can't see the, smoke through the trees, as they say. So when we step off the hamster wheel, we can see things clearer. And meditation and learning how to meditate and to focus on your breathing and relax and center yourself is definitely one way to help you connect with the true you, to start have conversations with your higher self, with the you that you want to start to emulate yourself to become more of. It's not about looking and giving your power away. It's about connecting with the power that you already have. You are the all that is. You came into this world, you're living here, just like everything else that exists here. We're all from the same place. We'll all go back there when this lifetime finishes. But it's all one. This is a separate, you could say, a matrix. We've created this physical world that we have these physical experiences in, right? I'm just going to read your comment here, Wisdom, because I'm going to stop my train of thought here for 1 second. When about Christians is confusing. Look, I think there's truth within the lies. I think there's stories that there's truth in, and I think that a lot of these groups, religious groups, they've taken certain things and they've created a scenario that controls so many people and has done for thousands of years, right? So, like I said, I now, and I used to look at a lot of those organisations as bad and blah blah blah. Now I don't look at them like that. Now I just go, a that's a creation that is there, right? People accept that. That's fine if they accept it and they want to live in that scenario. But for me and for many others, there's a much broader, truer way of looking at existence, right? Maybe those individuals want to go through a life being religious and staying under the umbrella of that way of thinking. Maybe they want to have that life. If so, they can. That's okay. Because the next life, they might need to go through that to then take the next step into a broader thinking way of being into the next lifetime. Because you don't know, none of us know what level of learning each of these people are on. I would say most of us have probably lived lifetimes where we've been in those religious organisations somehow, shape, form, whatever. But it's about us, right? It's about ourselves. It's about understanding that you're a good person. I'm a good person. I'm doing the best that I can with what I know. And as I learn more, as I expand more, as I get more understanding about myself, and meditation is a good thing to start doing if you've never done it. I'm going to give you a couple of quick tips on meditation because I feel I want to do it. So, meditation is this in the simplest form. You breathe in through the nose. So you're nice and straight, stay nice and back straight, sit on a nice square chair, hands on your knees, relax. I mean, you can do it laying in a bed if you want to, but a lot of people fall asleep when they do that. So you close your eyes, but then I won't close my eyes, but then you breathe in your nose. So deep into the diaphragm. So you push your belly button out, you hold your breath for a moment, and then let it out, and then breathe in. Hold, out. It's the circular breathing through yourself. That circular breathing is the same way singers learn to breathe when they sing. It actually helps to activate your energy centers or your chakras. If you haven't heard of those before, look up chakras because that's an interesting thing to look into as well. They're your life force energy or your vibrational centers of energy that are a part of us all. Right? They activate those, they open those up. When you breathe, when you just focus on your breath, you relax and you let go of that connection from, the physical body, and you let that go, the stress of the day, and you start to just feel yourself, just to feel the energy, to relax, let your mind go blank. When your mind goes blank, that's when any information can pop in, but you want to get to the point of just in nothingness, just listening to yourself breathing in the nose, deep in the diaphragm, hold it, then out the mouth. In the nose, you don't have to visualize anything, but if you do that for 3, 4, 5 minutes a day, you will let go of any stress, any stuff that you've been taken on, and you will feel more centered, right? Because we naturally take on stuff from everyone that we come in contact with, right? We just naturally do. When a negative comment gets said, or there's a situation over there in the office and such is upset about this, and you've got empathy and you take a bit of that on. Hey, ME50, how you going, mate? Good to see you. So, we're taking all these bits and pieces on from daily life. I mean, if you're a gamer and you're sitting there and people all got headphones on, right? There's a lot of stupid comments people are making on those things too. We take on lower vibration at times. If you're taking on a little bit too much, you can feel drained, you can feel stressed. Meditation, one of the things it does is it helps you to let it go. Because most of the things that you take on from others they're not yours. Hey, Money Mojo, how you going? Few of the old regulars are jumping on. Good to see you all. I've been chatting away here for nearly an hour. Where have you been? So, it's about embracing that you are the center of your world. You, every single one of you. May I say that all of you that are still here listening tonight, you are perfect as you are. You are perfectly imperfect human beings that are living this life in the most authentic way that you possibly can. Live it from the heart. Be the person that you want to be. But I want to say that you're all doing a fantastic job. Yeah. From Craig to you, you're doing a great job. I want you to hear that. I want you to pat yourselves on the back. I don't want you to go away thinking that, there's no hope. You live forever. You are immortal. You have the golden ticket. You do not have to give your power away to some imaginary higher being to actually get the ticket or the entry fee to life. You are life. You are existence. You are conscious thinking beings. You're amazing, right? Embrace it. Each individual that embraces this fact and goes out and lives their life to their fullest and passes on that great vibrational uplifted energy that we have when we know that nothing can ever go wrong. Everything's an experience, but you are forever. You are forever. You are awesome. You are perfect. You are loved. Pass the message on. Pass the message on. That's what it's about, everyone. We want this world to change for the better. We want everyone to embrace their unique selves, and we want them to know that they are loved and that they can love themselves and it's okay, and that the universe and the all that is loves them unconditionally. And the more I connect with who I truly am, the more I connect with my connection with the universe, the better I feel. Hello, Mandy K. How you going? My family, but tonight my daughter said, I think this is my first time around. And it could be. And it could be, Mandy. It could be. Probably not, but it could be. I mean, this is it, right? Like, so I would say to you with your daughter, teach your daughter how to meditate. If you have, like, teach your daughter how to meditate. Breathing, centralizing your energy in your nose, deep into your diaphragm, exhaling out the mouth. Relax and meditate. All the indigenous cultures meditate. All the most spiritual cultures on this planet meditate. And they're the most connected human beings that we have with the universe. Us guys in the Western culture, we're a long way behind them. But we're going to catch up, right? So it's about taking the opportunity to teach ourselves how to connect more with who we really are, because the answers aren't out there. Wherever you are living in your body. You are connected to the all that is. You are perfect. You are going to be going on forever and ever and ever. That's a long time. But you can teach your daughter, your friends, your family members, you can pass on how you want to see life, how you see life, and you can open them up to experiencing that and understanding that the answers for life are within themselves. That is the difference between how so many generations before us have been taught. No, you need to go to that church. You need to give yourself to that higher being, and you need to know that you're lesser than, that you're just a sinner. You're not. You're fantastic. One person at a time. You empower yourself. Then you tell your friends, hey, try meditation. Focus on you. You're a good person. Right? It's that simple. Be an authentic person. Care about yourself. Care about your friends. Care about your family. Care about the world. You're a part of it. It is you. Everything that happens around you is a reflection of how you see yourself. I hope that all the reflections that you guys are creating for yourselves at the moment are positive. But if something a bit negative pops up, take the time to actually have a bit more of a look at yourself. Take the time to say, where did that come from? Why would I create that in my world? Why do I feel that way about me? Because there might be an old belief pop back up that you need to accept it, but let it go. Right? Limiting beliefs are things that stop us allowing more of the abundance into our world, more love, more joy, more fun, all the things that you want. It's your beliefs that control what you're allowed to come in. You are creating your own world every second of every day, but you have to get out of your own way. It's the beliefs that are actually limiting you, your own personal beliefs. But you have to know what they are. You have to see what's going on. You have to get that reflection for yourself so you can change them. If you hear yourself go, you're stupid, da 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 da, do you want to be that person? Because when you act a certain way because the situation confronts you, doesn't mean that's the only way you can handle that situation. But a belief says that it's okay for you to act negatively in that situation, where you could choose to be really positive and loving in that situation if you had a different belief, right? When someone cuts you off in their car, on the horn, so many people, you stupid, I want to get outside, I want to get road rage, I want to carry on, da, da, da. What are you creating for yourself? I have people cut me off in the car. Don't even respond now. That's them just going about their way without paying attention. And I'm not going to respond in a way that affects me, because how I act and what I put out comes back on me. I'm creating my own reality. Why would I want to act like a complete freak? Then all those negative things I'm going to create for myself. I don't want that. Once individuals prove to themselves that they create their own reality, things will shift quite quickly, because you start to think about life from the perspective and understanding that you create everything. So instantly, and this happened with me, you start to go, all right, if I create everything, what did I just think then? I just said this then. Well, shit, I don't want to say that. And you start to analyze things. You start to have those reflections, and you start to realize that, where did that come from? I don't want to create that. Hang on a second. I'm going to let that go. I want to be more positive. I'm going to start making an effort. I'm thankful and grateful for everything I create in my life. I'm thankful and grateful because I'm saying that to my higher self. I'm saying that to my bigger self, myself that's connected with the all that is, myself that creates my own reality every millisecond of every day. Once you realize that, you transform your own reality. The more of us that realize this truth, and it is the truth of reality, as we realize this truth, the world will transform. It's the collective that's catching up. It's the individuals that are awakening themselves. This is a part of it. My little group, my little family. I hope I'm helping for you guys to awaken yourselves to the truth about who you are. You are amazing. Nothing less than amazing. Nothing less. You know? We all create our own reality. We all do. We don't know truly who we are. Not in this life yet. We don't truly know it. But we're starting to get glimpses. We're starting to understand things. We're starting to listen to our intuitions more. We're starting to listen to our feelings, our heart. The answers aren't in your head. They're in your heart. Listen to your heart. Trust that Craig knows what's right for Craig. And Mandy knows what's right for Mandy. And ME50 knows what's right for ME50. Trust in yourself. And pass that on to your friends. Just trust in yourself. If you're feeling lost, breathe. You are the center of this universe. You are a part of the all that is. You are immortal. I am talking right. I am talking right to you. I'm talking to every single one of you. And that's why I had this little beauty with me tonight. Now, for those who are on here that didn't see me hold this up earlier, this is a piece of malachite. Malachite is it's a beautiful stone. This is a little pyramid cut. Malachite cut to a piece of into a pyramid. Had it for a long, long time. But yeah, you can see all the different depths of green. Malachite helps individuals face their fears. Your fears are often big blockages to allowing yourself to move forward and open up your beliefs, right? Like get rid of the negative beliefs, get rid of the things that you're fearful of. There are reasons why a lot of people don't let themselves expand and grow and understand, because they've been told if they do, bad things are going to happen. Or if you change anything, it could get worse. What if things change and things get better? How about that? You know, I've always been one to say, if you don't try, you're never going to know. And the worst thing that can happen is you're going to be exactly where you are now. So why not have a go? Why not try proving a few of these understandings to yourself? Why not try to understand that you do create your own reality? What I do put out comes back. When I act really positively, I start meeting more positive people. Oh my goodness, it's a miracle. It's life. That's what life is. That's the secret to life. You create your own reality. I create my own reality. We all do. Everyone else that doesn't understand that, it's a little bit in the dark, and they just need to wake up. And I do believe that many in this world will. I do believe that. And it will be a joyous day when the bulk of the world wakes up to this understanding, and we'll all start creating these amazing experiences together and individually, and things can absolutely change for the better in this world, and they can let go of the hate, and they can let go of the control, and this world can just be an amazing place to play and experience and grow and expand together, you know, as a place of learning in a really loving, positive way. Why can't it be like that? It can be like that. And on that note, everyone, as much as I know you all love to listen to Craig chatting away Sunday night, Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg, you have to go and see it. I was so excited, and I went and saw it, and I'm still excited. But I'm not going to tell you anything because that would be terrible. That would be spoilers, and I'm not one for that. So get to those local cinemas wherever you are around the world and watch Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg knows all about extraterrestrials, and this is his way of helping get this understanding out there. Our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters are going to make themselves known in the near future, I believe, hand on heart, and they will bring much knowledge and love to all of us. It will help us expand further into what reality truly is. I'm excited about that. I thank you all for hanging out with me. Unconditional love to all of you. At any time you have individuals that no, I knew you'd like the malachite, mate. That's why you came on tonight, eh? Malachites be wear the stones when you feel like wearing them, take them off when you don't, all right? And always keep them cleansed. You want to ask me any other questions about it, ME50, you can always drop me a question in one of my comments or something, and that'll flash up and I can answer it for you, whatever questions you might have about crystals, mate. Look, just enjoy your time, enjoy the week, enjoy your experiences. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Tell anyone that is struggling to come and listen to old Craig. Maybe there's some things that I can share with them that'll help them get themselves back on that track, right? Because that's life. We want to do better. We want to do better. We want to learn. We want to expand. We want to grow. We want to just be the best versions of ourselves we can be. And we want life to be fun and joyous. All right? That's it. Go and enjoy your life. And we'll catch up with you very soon. And I'll drop some more videos for you to check out as well. Craigsworldrocks. Remember, yours rocks too. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you soon.